Hey, Academy, how's it going? Long time since we talked. I just want to ask you a question. I just want to wait a couple seconds. Again, just want to make sure this video doesn't get demonetized. It's important, and I think this is something I want to ask you guys for a while. Okay, I think we're good. Hey, Academy, what the fuck is going on? What are we doing here? I remember a couple of weeks ago during the Golden Globes, they did a lot of things that were good. I was very proud. You know, Kihei Kwan got their actual award, like the Michelle Yeoh got an award. I think a lot of people that you didn't expect to see getting awards got awards. Now, obviously, I didn't disagree with every single thing that won, right? Like, I was a big fan of Severance last year, and that did not win Best Show or whatever that category is. So, but I understand the thought process behind almost every award, and I think most of them were deserved. And it made me wonder. I said this on Twitter. I said, oh no, our award show's good now? Because every year, around Oscars time or Golden Globes time, whenever they screw something up real big, I'll put out a tweet. It's like, remember everybody, award shows are a big waste of time. And I do believe that. I genuinely do. I think Hollywood, stars, the idea that they need awards that we all watch is inherently a little silly, right? Like they put on costumes and dress up and, do an Elvis movie. And then we give them an award for it on stage because it's the only profession we give awards to on stage. Everybody watches. It's a little silly. But I think it's important that at least if we're going to do that, especially if we're going to say this is the best picture, second best picture, or whatever, we get it right. And I think that every year you can kind of judge the value of that show based on how well they did at nominating the awards. Did they leave something out? Did they get something important? Like, if, say, Crash wins or The Tourist gets nominated, and these are Golden Globes problems, but, that's like a thing that happened. You can go, well, that was stupid that year. It didn't do a good job. So it always gets me. There'll be one thing that I really liked. One thing that I thought, that is Best Picture material, and I hope it gets nominated. I hope it wins, but at least I hope it gets nominated because they opened it up to 10 things, right? So, Academy, you nominated quite a few things that were relatively popular. Avatar 2, which, sure, whatever. Top Gun 2, again, sure, whatever. People people watched it. They spent money on it, so that must mean it's good. That's never been enough for the Avengers movies, but I don't really, that's not the axe I'm grinding right now. And, you nominated movies that people really liked, like Fabelmans, which I think was probably good. Haven't seen it yet. The movie about Steven Spielberg's divorce is not the hottest topic on my list. Like, that doesn't put it at the top of my list. I've watched most of the other ones. I watched Tar, Everything Everywhere. I'm probably not going to watch all The Quiet on the Western Front. That just looks like a real bummer. But when it comes to a movie that's like made for the Academy, it's Fabelmans. And I'm not saying it seems very personal. It seems like a movie that matters to him. It also seems like a movie that is designed in a lab to win Oscars, which is why I know it's not the front runner right now, but I do think it is going to win. I might be way wrong about that, but man, does Hollywood love a movie about how Hollywood is important. Not even good, just important. But so if that was it, if it was just Fabelmans, Everything Everywhere, the All Quiet on the Western Front, like a war movie I'm not going to watch, great. I would say, you know what, you guys did it. But there were more spots, and first of all, no RRR, which is silly because it's the best movie of the year. But even keeping that out, because it's a long shot. You get down the list and you see Elvis, which I watched that movie. The first half hour was incredible, but then it kept going and it was longer than that, and then it really lost steam after he becomes discovered, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just was. I didn't really have strong feelings about it, but it definitely isn't a runner for the best picture of the year. And then on the other side, you do have a movie that I think is a contender for Best Picture this year. Now, I've talked to people about this. Apparently, the opinion that it is the best picture of the year, not quite as widely held as I expected, although I don't think there is a very widely held opinion. I think Everything Everywhere is what most people would say is their favorite movie this year, or the best picture of this year. But I don't think it's quite as unanimous as like when Parasite came out, where that was the best picture, and everyone did kind of agree. But forgetting about that, what happened to Nope? Hollywood? Did you take it too hard? Was it too personal? Did it really get under your skin? They made a movie about how spectacle and Hollywood kind of chew people up and spit them out. These black actors and film professionals got involved in the business and then kind of got kicked out of it and got forgotten. Like that, did that story not resonate with you for some reason? Because it maybe was critical of the film industry, even though it was obviously one of the best pictures of the year. Listen, I don't think it's definitely the best picture. I expect a lot of people to have different thoughts here, but Hollywood, it got better reviews than Avatar. Didn't make as much money, but it's not Avatar. It made a pretty solid amount of money. The filmmaking was incredible. The sound design was incredible. The performances were great. They weren't your big, Oscar-y performances where you cry a lot and you scream. Not to say that that's always what wins awards, but you always watch the award show and you see the little clips of the movie and to show you what the actor did that earned them that award, and that's always a shot of them screaming and crying or something, which is what they think acting is, which is fine, but do you think there was some really solid acting in that movie? I think Stephen Yeun's monologue about the Saturday Night Live sketch based on his terrible incident from his childhood is incredible. And I think that's delivered with so much nuance and something that, again, I think we could use a lot more of in the Academy. And then, obviously, you've got Daniel Kaluuya's performance, which is not the same as all of the rest of these guys. Again, he's not crying, he's not yelling, but he's emoting, he's reacting, he's sharing scenes with Keke Palmer where they do have an incredible chemistry, and there is something interesting going on there. They do sell you on that dynamic and kind of what they care about. And again, I just do think it's such a sophisticated movie in terms of the production, in terms of the filmmaking. And the fact that Elvis got nominated and Nope didn't, I do not understand. Except for the only thing I can understand about it is A, Hollywood loves musical biopics because it is acting. And by acting, I mean it's an impression. Because Hollywood, it's hard to say who's the best actor, right? Obviously, I don't know. I don't know who's doing the best acting, but I can tell you who seems the most like the real person. It's kind of like with art, where it's like you say modern art, and it's like, how do you know if it's good or not? I don't know. It's just kind of up to you. But if you look at like art where it's a picture of some fruit, and you can look at the fruit and go, that does look a lot like the fruit, that's pretty good art. I feel like that's kind of what the Elvis movie is a little bit, and what we're rewarding there is this, like, he did really look like Elvis, and he sounded like Elvis. And again, Austin Butler, fantastic. You did a great job. Even, I'll give it to Tom Hanks. Weird accent in that movie, but a performance that was something, and I appreciate that. But as a movie, I cannot understand why Elvis gets nominated and Nope doesn't, outside of two things. One, Hollywood loves a musical biopic because it is easy to tell if the acting is good or bad. And I don't know why they didn't appreciate Rocket Man at the time. I don't completely understand their thought process, but this is something that is pretty consistent. You do a musical biopic, you got a good shot. So that. But then also, Nope was critical of the film industry. Nope was a movie about filmmaking that was kind of like, hey, maybe some of this big spectacle isn't such a good thing. Maybe it does kind of destroy a lot of these little people. Maybe we do have to look away from it sometimes. And maybe, it's a problem that we observe it, that we are part of the problem. It's not just a spectacle that is out there to observe. It is a spectacle that exists because it is being observed. And that is so it's a cycle that feeds into why Hollywood is a little bit destructive, and can be bad for certain groups of people, and historically has. And Nope was very clearly about that. I think that's hard to miss. And frankly, I think the Academy figured it out, and they did not care for it. And I think it's crazy because, like, Get Out is great. I think I like Nope more. It's my favorite Jordan Peele movie. But the fact that Get Out gets all this praise, oh my God, so fantastic, what a great movie. And then Us comes out, and Us isn't perfect. I didn't love Us, especially the end. But the fact that is followed by Nope, which is a crowd pleaser, people love it. It is a lot of people I've talked to, it is their favorite movie of the year. But it's a little critical of Hollywood, and it doesn't get that same respect as Get Out did. I find that very telling. And it's part of why I don't take this very seriously, is because it's not just that this is the award ceremony for Hollywood. It's also this award ceremony from Hollywood. Hollywood is telling us what Hollywood did the best. And that's why I think sometimes they are, a little out of touch. And I do think they're pretty thin skin. And also in this video, I'm talking to you, the Academy, and that's what I'm noticing here. So Academy, I'm not going to tell you to do better because that's hard to say what to do better, but nominate Nope. That's, I guess, to do better is nominate Nope. Or give Jordan Peele an Oscar next year or whatever his next movie is for this, because Nope was great, and it wasn't just that you guys didn't give it Best Picture, it's that you didn't nominate it for anything, I don't think. And like sound editing, I mean, the sound of that movie was incredible. Cinematography was incredible. Some of those shots, those big wide shots, it really felt like the score of that movie was something that was very specific and special. And I understand a lot of movies this year had excellent scores. I'm not gonna, deny that, but I don't know. It's just, I think part of what I've never loved about the Academy Awards is how much you look back 5 years and go, what was the Best Picture 5 years ago? And then you think about it and you're like, oh, it was The Artist, or oh, it was Green Book, or that's weird, because that's clearly not the Best Picture of that year. You have some years where there is a movie that is a singular, like, not even just a masterpiece, but something that really changes movies, and it is going to be a cultural touchstone forever. And maybe that's not the best, but what is the best? How can you judge Best Picture, right? And I think something like Pulp Fiction should probably beat something like Forrest Gump, or Shawshank Redemption should beat Forrest Gump, or Saving Private Ryan should beat Shakespeare in Love. Now, a lot of this is taste, and like my taste in movies versus other people's taste in movies, but I do think part of it is kind of looking back. The Best Picture released that year, the best one, is obviously going to have some impact on us as a society, right? Like, we'll be talking about it in 10 years. It's the Best Picture. The best movie came out, It's like you have your best meal of years and years and years. You're going to tell people about that meal, That's how I feel about a sandwich I had not too long ago. It was the best sandwiches I've had in years. And I will tell you, it was in Austin. It was a barbecue sandwich from a restaurant, the name of which is escaping me now, but it was so good. Oh, it was so good. I'm going to Google it just so I give them credit, because I really liked it. But like part of the thing with something being the best is it has to exist. Like, it has to, I don't know, I guess it just has to matter. Because if it's really the best, it will matter. People will. Terry Black's, that's what it was. Oh, so good. Just a delicious brisket sandwich. I cannot say enough good things about it. And it wasn't anything special in terms of like, didn't have lots of stuff on it. It was just a plain old delicious piece of sandwich. Anyway, the best thing, we're going to be talking about it for a while. You're going to remember it. So when the best thing comes and goes, and then a year later we kind of forgot about it, I think we messed up. I think we got the wrong one, because if it was the best, it would be something that we considered in the future. I think Nope will have more pop culture presence and will be something that more people watch in the future and think about and care about than half these movies. I do. And I know when it comes to Avatar, a lot of people say that shouldn't be how much you believe a movie succeeded or failed. I don't think having a movie be something we talk about all the time means it was good, and not something we don't talk about all the time means it was bad, like Avatar, for instance. Not being able to remember all the characters' names, I don't think necessarily makes it a bad movie. We don't remember their names. And by the way, real quick, we don't remember the names of the characters in Avatar, not because the movie's bad, because we never rewatch it. Because it's a movie built for a movie theater with 3D big sound technology and stuff, and it's just not as good watching it at home. So you're very rarely going to be like, oh, let's turn on Avatar, because the biggest part of it is the experience. It's like, you can go to a play and see a play, and you can watch a pro shoot of a play, a very good replaying of the play. And sometimes that's enough. And if that's all you can get, then that's obviously better than nothing. But it's like, it's not the same experience. So of course we're not going to want to experience it again in a lesser format. So because of that, I think we just didn't watch Avatar that many times at home. And that's where it gets you. That repetition is where people, I think there's other factors in why it was kind of not like forgettable, but maybe, certain characters' names didn't get remembered as much, but I think that's the main thing. And I don't think that's a knock against the movie. I think that has to do with how it is experienced and how well people connected with it in the theater and maybe couldn't at home. That being said, I don't think that is a metric for the success of every movie. However, a successful, great movie, the best picture of a year, will be remembered. It is something that people will think about. Otherwise, it's not the best picture. Because movies as they exist are something that are passed on and are, it didn't used to be so easy to say, oh, you gotta watch this, and then people would watch it on HBO and go, oh my god, that was really good. And then you tell your friends, like The Menu, I think should have gotten nominated for Best Picture. I think The Menu was fantastic, and I also think something that was so good about it was it had a really strong word of mouth. People went, oh my god, you gotta watch The Menu, it's so interesting. It maybe isn't the best movie ever made, it's not the smartest, but it's really good. For that reason, I think it will have more staying power in my brain than, say, Elvis. Tar was good though. I think Tar is interesting. It felt like watching a play. It was a lot of long takes, and it was a great performance, and it was a well-shot movie. But I don't know, there's something about Nope, man. If you haven't seen Nope, watch it. It's great. I think part of it is not to completely give away the game of what Nope is, but one of my favorite movies of all time, because I'm super basic about that kind of stuff, is Jaws. I love Jaws. Jurassic Park, Jaws. This is how much I love Spielberg. So maybe I should watch favorite ones. I don't know. But Jurassic Park and Jaws are like two of my favorite movies. And Jaws, I think, is as close as you get to a perfect movie, especially one that matters so much today. Because 3 years ago, everybody became the mayor from Jaws. Amity means friendship, open up the bars and restaurants. It's great. So something about Nope taking that influence from my favorite movie, I think makes it a movie that I was built to love. But I just think overall it's very exceptional. Other than that, Academy, I don't know, put RRR in Best Picture. It was one of the best pictures. Everybody realizes that. I know they didn't submit it, I think, for Best International Feature, which I think is a mistake, but, what are you going to do? But, yeah. Banshees is good. I think Banshees was good. Banshees of whatever it's called. And I'm like half Irish, so I should know how to pronounce that word, but I don't even try. It's funny. It's a good, interesting thing. I like Martin McDonagh. I can't say anything bad about that movie. But yeah, Nope. Give Nope more respect. I don't know. It's not too late, Academy. You could do over. Cut Elvis. Austin Butler can keep his acting nomination, but Nope takes its spot. That's just, if I got to do something, that would be the change I would make. Or Triangle of Sadness. I'd like Triangle of Sadness, but is it Best Picture material? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not convinced. Anyway, thank you for watching, Academy. Yeah, that's all I got.